Hi, and welcome back to another edition of Gunners Are Us. In this edition, we're going to be discussing the match between Arsenal and Tottenham. And with that, let's get on with the video. So, it is the North London Derby, and that is a match that's going to be held tomorrow, Saturday at 12:30. It's an interesting match. Sorry. It's going to be an interesting match. It's going to be a hard fought match as well because Arsenal are playing good football. Tottenham, they're playing good football as well, if you could call it football. They're playing their particular style and brand of football, which has yielded them results, and it's going to be an interesting matchup. So let's get straight into it. Team news. We know that Emile Smith-Rowe won't be available for the match. He's out until December, and apart from Emile Smith-Rowe, Cedric, well, he wasn't in the starting 11, so those are the only absentees from an Arsenal perspective. So, going straight into it, team that Mikel Arteta, I predict, will choose will be Ramsdale in goal, a backline of Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Tierney. Midfield of Thomas Partey, Xhaka, and Odegaard, and front three of Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Martinelli, and Bukayo Saka. So that's the team that I would, if I was Mikel Arteta, I would choose. So that team again would be Ramsdale in goal, Ben White, Gabriel, Saliba, and Kieran Tierney. Xhaka, Partey, and Odegaard, and Saka, Martinelli, and Gabriel Jesus. That would be my team selection that I would choose. So, moving on, let's get the word from the boss. Let's get the word from the boss of every word from Mikel Arteta's press conference. With the clock ticking down this Saturday, North London's derby, Mikel Arteta attended his pre-match press conference in London Colney to tackle questions from the gathered media. The boss gave updates on injuries, the decision to send Emile Smith-Rowe for surgery, his impressions on our opponents, and the difference between now and April when we last faced our local rivals. Here's everything he had to say. On team news, we've just finished the last training session. Obviously, we had many players arriving yesterday, so we had a short period to prepare for the match, but the boys are looking in good condition. On the condition in the squad, on the confidence in the squad, the mentality doesn't change. We have to go game by game. We need to look to get better and improve in many areas and be humble, but at the same time, really ambitious. That's the way forward for us to achieve what we want. On how impressed he's been with Tottenham's start, not only the start, but the journey that they have been on since Antonio joined and how things have changed and the team that he's building. They have a very clear identity in the way they are playing, and it's been really impressive. We know that both teams expect a really tough match tomorrow. On whether last season's away game acts as extra motivation, I just think it's all about emotion and willingness to get to that moment and have enjoyment. It's the nicest game of the season by a mile for what it means to our supporters, for the history of it, and now as well because looking at the table and where both teams want to be, it becomes a really important match. I think the word is excitement. On whether he has told the new players about what to expect, they know what to expect. On whether Zinchenko, Partey, and Tini are in the squad, they are part of the team. On Tini being pulled out of internationals, I think what we I think what we all want is the best for the player. We need to protect the welfare of the player for sure, and has he got the right mindset? Is the player ready physically to play for the country and the club? The best way to do it is to have a clear communication and be honest and transparent, and with Scotland, that's the case for sure. On whether it's a risk to play the players at the start of a busy period. We have to go game by game and then form and performances, plus how the players are mentally and physically will dictate how we use them. But for sure, we are going to need everyone. The schedule is hectic and very demanding, and we need to think carefully about how we use and load the players. Yes, the the demand is very much. There's 9 matches in October, and players can't play every match. So uh, Martinelli, for example, is going to need a rest. So especially for those Europa League games. On what he has said to Gabriel Jesus about missing out on selection for Brazil. First of all, we need to understand how they are feeling, how they have taken the news, how it's hit them, and how we can use it to help them to their benefit. Just put your head down, take it on the chin, and the only thing they can do is try to play at the level he has been playing or better to make it more difficult for the national team. On what makes this derby so special? Many things. I think you have to feel attached and a belonging to the club. And when you have that feeling, and then you understand the history of the derbies, how both teams were historically created, and what has happened over the years, then that makes it very special. I think it's a very special city. It's a really special country, very passionate fans, and it's a great atmosphere to play in. On who will be doing the team talk this time? It depends on the moment, but obviously we have so many people here that have been here much longer than us. Their feelings towards the clubs are even deeper than ours, and I felt that in that moment it was the right thing to do for someone that is with us every day, that knows the players and knows what it means to express how he was feeling about it. On whether Emil Smith Rowe will be back after the World Cup. Hopefully, yes. We had to make a decision because we could not continue the uncertainty as to whether we have him or have him with certain conditions. We needed to draw a line, so we made that decision, and he was the first one demanding that he wanted to make that decision, and we supported that, and we have to prepare him to get back stronger than he was. On how long Emil Smith Rowe will be out for. After surgery, it's very difficult to give a timeline. It depends on the first process, how the bones heal, how was his first reaction, his improvement, and how he's adapting. We need to go step by step. Obviously, we know that before the World Cup will not be easy, and after that, we have a break, and we need to use him in the right way. On how he convinced Jesus to sign for Arsenal, Eddie had a talk with him to describe what the project was, what our club is about, and the role he would have in our club. I spoke to him too, so it was a team effort, and he clearly understood what we wanted to do. The relationship, the relationship that we have with him has helped a lot because there's a trust and because there is a trust and that connection already, then it's completely up to the player to decide on whether he was convinced he could sign him. We were really hopeful, and his immediate reaction was extremely positive. After that, there's a lot of steps that have to go in the right directions to finalize and get a player to sign for the club. But to be fair, Gabby made it pretty easy for us. On Antonio Conte saying Arsenal are a better side than last season. First of all, thank you, and hopefully we are. But the next few months will unveil that. We want to get better, and than we are today as well. On having any hesitation about playing William Saliba against Kane and Son. William has shown over the past few months what he is capable of, and that doesn't mean that things are always going to go in the same direction, but he's been so good that from my side, I have no doubts. On Jesus being one booking away from a suspension, it's a thin balance, and aggression is in his nature. He gets a lot of contact and puts his body on the line in every situation, but we have been unlucky in that amount of bookings that he has. Some of them we cannot prevent because they were a bit disciplinary, but we want to avoid a suspension for sure. On whether the squad is more prepared for the emotion of the derby this time, it's a different context. We went into that game with many different circumstances in terms of players that were available to play the game and what happened during the game. You take that lesson, you learn from it, and you move on. On whether the squad has learned from last season, yes. Nice short answer. On whether the arrangement last season hindered Arsenal, I have no idea. If you want to play in the Champions League, you have to get the moment where the pressure is on and the circumstances and overcome the situation. That day we didn't do it from our side, and the decisions that we have made in that game on what he wants to see from the official, let him do his job. That's it. On how important decision making will be in the box, we will be looking at all those things, and we have to focus on what we can do on the pitch and let the referee run the game. And on whether surgery for Smith Rowe was the initial plan, we put all the alternatives on the table, and the thing is, we have tried some others during the last few months, and they haven't really worked to the point that the player wasn't comfortable and consistently at his best to perform. We decided to take that route, and that it was the best decision, and we stick to it and move on. So that was that. So that is the end of the Mikel Arteta press conference, and that's what Mikel Arteta has got to say pre pre um, pre Tottenham. So now, what do we think will be the prediction? So predicted lineup done. Uh, Score prediction. I believe Arsenal hopefully will go and win this match, and it will be 3-1. That's my score prediction, 3-1. And hopefully that is the score line. Ones to watch. The ones to watch will be, from Arsenal perspective, Gabriel Jesus, Martin Odegaard, and Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka. Those are the four from our Arsenal perspective that will be the ones to watch. Those are four good players. And from a Tottenham perspective, the ones to watch will be Harry Kane and Son and maybe Richarlison. Those will be the ones to watch for. So those will be the ones to watch. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.